Well, come on, there's only one way to read that. Proof that God exists? What? Yeah, goddamn, that is some chirpy music for a topic that has stumped some of the best and brightest in the world for centuries. But apparently it is now such a light-hearted, well, obviously, topic that this is how we regard it. Great, and I don't exactly disagree, but probably for some slightly different reasons.
Assalamu alaikum, peace and blessings be upon you. I hope you have been well.
Aw, thank you. I mean, I haven't. I am a fat, lazy, greedy drunk who also hates any and all people around me, so my life is basically a never-ending misery and an endless cavalcade of f***ups. Or as we English like to put it, I'm pretty okay, how are you?
Do we have proof that God exists? Is our proof good enough?
Oh, right to it, are we? Okay, and lucky you, I just so happen to have the answer to both those questions. No and no. You're welcome. Hopefully, that'll be good enough and we can just move on to a new topic finally. Like, what's the biggest animal you could defeat? I reckon I could take on a whale, but only in an eating contest, obvs.
Yes, God does exist. Now...
excuse me, that was not the question. The question was, do we have proof? Not, does God exist? Because here's something that will blow your mind. You can have proof for something and that not actually be what happened or how it is. Like, if you were to walk in on me covered in blood with a body in strips all around the room whilst I'm holding a large knife, you might say, there we go, evidence that you killed someone. When what actually happened is, I was cutting them a birthday cake and they just exploded from the excitement. Look, that's my made up story and I'm sticking to it, officer.
I know that's a bold claim, and of course this is a huge topic.
While it certainly is a bold claim, and one that doesn't answer your actual question, I don't know about huge topic. I mean, most topics with the answer, nah mate, it don't real, are usually, when you boil it down, pretty small and simple. It's just them there pesky humads who get sidetracked by nonsense, who end up making it look way bigger than it is or actually needs to be.
That I will not be able to tackle in a video less than 10 hours.
It would take you 10 hours? I didn't realise the topic was actually getting up before we swing all the way back round to bedtime again. Oh well, never mind, back to bed, try again tomorrow. You know, it's an endless cycle. No wonder I never get anything done.
So, the simple thing that hit me the other day is, look, we believe in gravity, right?
Oh no, please, you seem so nice. Please don't make me do it. Oh, goddamn, she's gonna do it anyway, isn't she? Fuck. Okay, fine, do it, but don't say I didn't warn you, Mrs. Video Person who can't actually hear me. And it was all going so well.
It's all around us. Whether we want to deny it or not, gravity exists.
Well, okay, at least you're not as ridiculous as some individuals that shall remain nameless. Those people who flat out refuse to understand how the world works. They just pancake ideas together, only for none of them to be on the level, largely because of the smoothness of their brains.
If, for instance, I take, I don't know, this cream here,
and you just nom it all, you'll probably get sick, because that's not that kind of cream, silly. Why would you even do that? That's face cream. Ah, I see where the confusion is. That goes on the face, not in the face. Unless your proof of gob is gonna be, look how sick this made me because God called it face cream. And honestly, I don't even have a response to that.
And I say to this cream, you will stay up when I drop you.
Whoops! And, oh, come now. We all know that only works for whiskey farts. Mine will float there for hours. Otherwise, yeah, things fall when you drop them. I can't wait to find out how the f*** that proves, well, any kind of deity. Aside from maybe one of those super specific god of gravity kind of ones you get in, like, the various pantheons, but that still doesn't actually prove them, just, you know, is what one would, as I said before, say, oh, that's proof, when it does nothing of the sort.
It's not going to work, right? I cannot bend gravity to my will.
Well, you're obviously not eating enough, because you see, my mighty belly has its own gravitational field that outstrips the forces emanating from the very Earth itself. No, I don't care that that doesn't make any sense. You don't get to look this good by making sense, baby.
It is a force all around us that controls our lives.
That's an odd way to put it. Gravity is actually considered one of the weaker forces. It requires freaking massive bodies in order to have any tangible effect. Like planets, or as we stated before, my thick, sick arse. But yeah, electromagnetism is a far more powerful force, seeing as you don't fall on the ground and just smash your way through to the centre of the planet. And you can even defy gravity, if only momentarily, by doing a little jump. Well, you probably could. That sounds like effort, and I have to save my precious, precious calories.
We can't see it because we're human beings, and that's the first thing along your road to believing in God.
Really? Really? That's where you're going with this? We can't see gravity. Well, I posit that you literally just demonstrated that we absolutely can see gravity. That right there was you demonstrating that gravity is a real thing and its effect on objects. Find me a single tangible effect that could only be attributed to a god and demonstrate that, and you might actually be onto something. Although really, just watch as she simply doesn't understand why X, Y, or Z thing happened.
You have to understand how limited we are in our perception.
I do. We do. That's why we went and invented that little thing. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's called science. In fact, again, that drop you did, that is kind of doing a science. Because you were testing what happened when you let go of an object in midair. Now, do it hundreds, thousands, even tens of thousands of times to see what results you get. As you introduce different elements, maybe different objects, maybe from different heights or locations on the planet. Perhaps even come up with other experiments. And slowly but surely you can pull together enough data to start to get an idea of what gravity is and how it at least appears to work. When you have enough, you will be able to say with 99% certainty that yep, gravity does real, and that's backed up by the theory of gravity. And we have the same for evolution and relativity. But, tell me again about the scientific theory of God.
I mean, even animals perceive things that we cannot as human beings.
Well, thanks a lot, God. Apparently humans are your main project, but you never even thought to give them wings. To make the trip to the shops easier, or bioluminescence. To make those nighttime trips to the bathroom less hazardous/messy. I mean, he didn't even give you laser eyes and machine gun arms. Those would have been handy when you needed to fight that whale, but no.
And we always think of ourselves as greater than them, or...
Do you? I mean, I don't think of humans as better than animals, but that's because 1, humans are animals, and 2, humans are the worst. In fact, in my experience, it tends to be ingrained into certain religious texts that humans were made on purpose by God, because he thought it would be just such a good idea, which is exactly why, if God is real, he must be a frickin' moron.
That they don't have as much brain power as we do, but we don't have as much instinct as they do either. Right?
How on earth are you quantifying instinct? Instinct isn't something that you just have a certain amount of. It's just a way you deal with your surroundings. Animals rely on instinct more than humans, I would imagine, because humans have come up with other and probably better ways to assess any given scenario. Instinct is just reactions built into us that help you to survive. But it's not the only nor the best way to do things like, build a house, unless you want it to end up falling over.
For example, and I found this so fascinating I wanted to share it with you. Mosquitoes follow the scent of exhaled carbon dioxide to find their next blood meal.
Well, finally, there's something on my channel that I can actually relate to. Only took hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of bloody videos. Yay. But, okay, so that's to demonstrate instinct, is it? Well, I guess you have a point. I mean, humans, they just sit there until you bring a pasty over and then drop kick it down their throat before they even register the presence of food. It's not like they have senses of smell or fucking eyes to detect food or anything like that.
Moths can hear ultrasonic calls of echolocating bats. Elephants communicate over long distances with infrasonic sounds. Many birds, like the zebra finch, can see extra colors.
Okay. I get it. Fantastic. Great. There's more of these, but we shall be skipping them. Certain animals have certain senses that allow them to do things that your basic bitch tier humans cannot. Asterisk. But that's not instinct. Those are, well, senses. Maybe they have the instinct to use them without thinking about it, but that's not the same thing. And it is a shame that you didn't maybe check what words mean before making your silly point. And as for my asterisk, humans can do all those things, and potentially more. They just need equipment, which they invented, probably without the use of frigging instinct. But instead, that science crap I won't shut up about. I mean, they still aren't better, but that's because they aren't doggos and catos with the power of cute. The one thing humans can never do. Ugh.
And so many more that it would make this video ridiculously long.
And make your point less and less and less and less valid. So probably a good idea that you stop now rather than continuing on to the heat death of the universe. I hope there is some better point you are going to be making with these, but somehow I very much doubt it.
But think about yourself in this context. You only have your 5 senses, and we can't do anything as cool as some of those animals.
Me? Only 5 senses? Ha! Shows what you know. I have several bonus senses. Most important of all is whiskey sense, where I know where all whiskey is all the time. Turns out it's inside me. Also, I have infragreen vision and smidgen. Anyway, yet again, showing your ignorance. Humans have lots more than 5 senses. That's just an oversimplification for children. They can sense orientation and pressure and a bunch of shit related to helping you not, die.
Right? So, the idea that we believe in gravity, though we can't see it, right? We observe its effects. It's a force that affects us that we can't really negotiate with, right?
What? Are we back on gravity again? Oh, damn it. Would you stay on track of your silly points, please? One at a time, yeah? But fine. Gravity is a force that we can interact with in a way that is actually useful. I have literally no idea how that is going to translate into, therefore, God. But I am sure you are going to attempt to force that square peg into that round hole as hard as you can anyway. Maybe get a hammer.
We can manipulate it once we understand it, but we can't really physically hold gravity. I'm never going to hold gravity, right?
As a concept, no, but you can hold things that are affected by gravity. I mean, with a cupped hand like that, that's actually how it works. Without the gravity, the things will fall out of your hand. So in that sense, you are kind of holding gravity.
Same with God.
You just said we can manipulate gravity once we understand it. So that means that we can manipulate God once we understand him. Brilliant. I'm liking this lady more and more. She's got a plan. And I think it involves taking over God's brain, possibly to do the universe's most impressive ventriloquist act.
God is beyond our perception as human beings.
So God's absolutely nothing like gravity then. You can detect gravity easily with half your quote-unquote 5 senses. You can see things falling, you can feel the pull of gravity on your body, and I'm sure there's other shit, but it's moot when you can't do any of that for God. He's beyond all human perception entirely, so how the f*** do you know he even exists? When I have no way to demonstrate something is there, I don't start making up stories about it. I won't tell you the tales about the invisible cake that's totally on the table, but you can't touch it, taste it, or smell it, because there's almost certainly no cake, because I already would have eaten it.
And the beautiful thing about it is we're told multiple times throughout the Quran about our nature, about ourselves, which is...
Oh yeah, old books always so good at knowing anything about anything. I'm sure it doesn't get everything stunningly wrong. And I am also so sure of the defense of the things it gets wrong about human nature. Isn't going to be, well, if you follow its instructions to the letter, then it's correct. No, that's not going to happen.
Why I love Islam so much, because every piece of advice is from your creator.
Do you have some sort of source for that? I mean, you just said that the creator is completely undetectable, so that means he's never come down to say, hey guys, I totally wrote this book, and the things in it are so legit it's absurd. I mean, if that did happen, then I will stand corrected. But we all know how I feel about standing, so it's not like I'm going to risk that without being pretty sure I won't have to.
It's like ignoring the owner's manual to any complex thing that you own.
I think it's more like ignoring the random post about how you should totally microwave your phone to charge it because they just enabled wave technology. And yes, that post did happen and apparently people fell for it, which might sound unbelievable. No one could be that stupid until you remember what channel you were on, and then it all makes sense.
And when it breaks, not going to look for the answers in the owner's manual, but instead to other created things, right?
This makes the assumption that your book is correct, but that's an assumption without anything to back it up, other than a bunch of people who also don't have anything to back up their claims telling you that it's correct. No matter how far into the future people repeat a thing that's wrong, it will never, ever, ever be right. And that book? Whew, baby, it really
doesn't make any sense.
Ah, finally, we can agree on something. Wait, before you go, I have something super important to tell you. It's life or death. It will change everything forever. Nope, wait, it's gone. Oh well, probably wasn't important. But while I have you, don't forget to comment, subscribe and notify. And if you want more of my smexy voice, check out Mrs. Six's channel Spoonstaff Stories, where I narrate and voice all the videos, and she does the work. And if you want to support the channel, check out the merch store for cool t-shirts, or check out Patreon, memberships and PayPal to support directly. Finally, follow me on the medias of social to get completely pointless guff and to keep up on the latest releases. Oh, I just remembered what I was going to tell you. Whatever you do, don't touch the